because I wasn't allowed to. It wasn't that we weren't good enough, we just weren't flat out allowed to play. My dad would take me to Little League practice and I'd beg to play, and on Saturdays I'd be in the stands watching my brother, who couldn't stand to play ball, play. So, you know, that stuff. So I never thought that I would be, you know, looking at the future back in the 7th grade and see myself standing here. So I do appreciate the fact that the Hall of Fame committee has given me this award. I never would have thought it would have happened, and I just wanted to play. That's all we ever wanted to do was play ball. So again, I'd like to thank the slo-pitch softball committee for nominating me for this honor. It would be impossible to achieve this honor without your teammates. You know, you don't see too many people on last place teams that get to be standing here in an event like tonight and receiving an award. I was surrounded by great teammates, from Hoppy Hopkins to Bonnie Hensley to Pam Grinstead to Sue Koziel. Some of the teammates that I have now, Kim Swearingen, some of the younger players, Lori Zagar, Beth Brenny. I say they're throwbacks because they really would have enjoyed playing back in the 70s and 80s when we played ball. It was a lot of fun. It was so competitive. ASA Open or nothing. 76 teams in the Metro tournament just to get into the regionals. So it was a great honor to be able to play ball with, you know, most of the teammates I had. Can't say all of them, no, I'm kidding. You know, you remember the ones that stand out in your head that you know you would run through a fence for them and they'd run through a fence for you too. So anyway, I appreciate my teammates, and I have been surrounded by many talented teammates over the years that have given me the opportunity to be standing here tonight. I would also like to thank some of the outstanding coaches that I played ball for. Hoppy Hopkins, Don Wooten, rest in peace. Don's been gone from us for a long time, but he taught many young ladies how to play softball. He was a great coach, he was a great person, and it's too bad that he's not around anymore. Bob Fletcher, who coached me in South Euclid Concrete, and then later coached Tizano's teams out in Eastlake. I'd like to thank one more person with a little story, and you guys probably all have stories similar to this, but I broke my leg the first night of the season in Eastlake in 1986. Slid across home plate, standing up, hit the dirt, flew into the backstop, ripped my hamstring attachment right off the bone. I'm laying on the ground, swearing my head off, roll over on my back, there's my dad. I'm like, oh shoot, oh darn, you know. After cussing a blue streak before I saw him, get to the hospital, ambulance doors open up, there's my mom. You're going to kill yourself playing the stupid game. Well, Mom, I'm still here, and I appreciate you being there for all those games. Sat in Nashville at 4 o'clock in the morning, falling asleep in the stands, watching us play in the Nationals. I'm still here, I'm still playing, and I still love the game. Thank you.
I would like to let you all know how very, very proud I am tonight to be the presenter of such a superstar as Jerry Springer. Thank you, I'm sorry. Thank you. Who the hell is Jerry Springer? I can tell you this, Jerry and any two of his friends would make one hell of a Jerry Springer show. In fact, Jerry alone would make Dr. Ruth look like Dr. Seuss. The only ball player ever to play with an X-rated backpack, and he knows it. In my hand, I have a letter that tells all about Jerry's softball career, written by the only person he knows that can write. His dear friend and co-signer, his backer, George Kapadas. And let's read what George has to say about him. It says, Jerry played from 1972 to 1988. He was a first baseman and pitcher for MTH Sports, Wally Sports, and Chupa Trucking in the Parma League. He played in four Parma Major Champs in 1973, 75, 77, 79, and 81, leading the league in home runs in 75 and 77. That's quite a feat considering the Loya brothers were in that league along with Bobby Reed and so forth. Let's see here. He was an all-star in those years and gained MVP status in 1977 during what they called the High Arc League. If you all remember it, we called it No Limit, I think it was. You could throw the ball as high as you wanted as long as it crossed the plate. And Jerry was the best at it. Obviously, that's why he got MVP. But he struck out 9 batters in one game, which is unbelievable, until you figure out that 8 of them were Jerry McKinney. Jerry's not here tonight, is he? In 1983, the team moved to Brecksville, winning 3 more championships, and Jerry won 2 more MVP trophies while batting cleanup. He played in 10 national tournaments with MTH Sports, Teamsters, Steel Sports, and was a 5-time all-tournament selection in the prestigious, that's tough to say, Great Lakes tournament held in Toledo, gaining MVP honors once again. Now, in Jerry's world, MVP stands for most vodka purchased. He also won the MBC award those same years for most vodka consumed. Now, some of Jerry's friends say that MVP could stand for the code word for his home planet, the moon, Venus, or perhaps Pluto. The one thing Jerry is proud of is, he says he's as normal as all his roommates. His roommates included Freddie Guger, Freddie Miller, Mighty Joe Young, the great Mike Masenko, Adolf Hitler, Attila the Hun, and Dr. Kevorkian. Now, I was his roommate, as he remembers, in York, PA in the early 80s. After the games were over, we quit early that day. At about 8 o'clock, we went out to the hotel bar, and we were going. Well, our plans were to eat and have a few drinks, but we couldn't get a reservation, so we waited in the bar, and we were there 2-3 hours, and I lost track of Jerry. And I got back up to the room. We were roommates, and I got it back up to the room around 3:30 in the morning. I opened the door and got in, and I could see Jerry was already in bed, but it looked like somebody else was in there with him. So I just went to bed. In the morning, I got up about 10:30, looked over, and Jerry was gone, but this thing was still there. So the curiosity got the best of me. So I pulled back the covers, and I was relieved to find out it was only a mannequin. The truth is, this really isn't the truth. Jerry had what it takes to be an outstanding ball player, and he need to be willing to compete against the very best, which he did. Of course, you have to have talent, not to mention the hard work and the longevity Jerry put in. Here's a man that's done everything, or soon will. Let's hope he doesn't do it here tonight. Come on.